it, then I stream again. Run a 40 on these niggas, cause like, why you?
Alright, we got DiGiovanni answers the most search type shit.
And this is the Wired autocomplete interview. The last thing I Googled.
Sound like some Chris Rock shit.
I was trying to make a French omelet for the first time.
Bro, I wonder, has he cooked for the president?
Okay.
That'll be my question right there.
First board. Where is Nick DiGiovanni from? I am from Rhode Island. Specifically, I was born in Providence. Rhode Island, you might know, is the smallest state, and it's also the ocean state, so it's surrounded by a lot of water. And I think that's where my love for seafood comes from. Where
Damn.
did Nick DiGiovanni go to college? I don't know still why they let me in, but I went to Harvard. I studied environmental science there, but I also got to take a lot of classes that had something to do with food. So I basically took every single possible class that I could take related to food in some way. And they actually had a lot of different classes that were about food. I spent a whole semester just learning everything there is to know about chocolate. Where does Nick DiGiovanni get?
Like going to Harvard for fucking college. I mean, going to Harvard, they get that shit fucking crazy. That means he was smart as shit, and they did a good cook, bro.
At his knives. Great question too. The tough part is I use a lot of different types of knives, but my favorite type of knife in general will be an 8-inch chef's knife, and I usually get them from two different places. One comes from this company, a really old company that's been making knives for a long time called Zwilling. And then the other more custom knives that I use come from a knife maker who lives in New Hampshire named Zach Jonas. He just finds different trees, cuts out, different handles from the trees, and then basically makes all of these different knives by hand, and I can customize exactly what I want that really cool steel Damascus pattern on each blade to look like. I probably have about 150 knives. I love knives.
Imagine telling people you just got 150 knives in your basement, bro. Like, how do you think they'll look at you? They probably stare at you in disbelief. Probably want to touch your toes, low-key.
Knives. It's kind of scary. Where did Nick DiGiovanni go to culinary school? I didn't go to culinary school. I did do a 2-week-long boot camp at the CIA, not like a special agent by any means. It's the Culinary Institute of America, and their main campus is in New York. That's one of the best or the best culinary schools.
So all the niggas that went to culinary school, this nigga cooks better than you, bro. He hasn't even been to school, bro. That should be hell of motivation.
School in the country, but I didn't actually go there.
That's tough, bro.
When did Nick DiGiovanni start YouTube?
This nigga didn't even go to school.
I think my first video I posted was probably in 2019 when I finished MasterChef. And then I didn't actually start making videos consistently until I think late 2020. So it took me a little bit of time to figure out a good formula and catch the YouTube bug where I just wanted to wake up and think about it every single day. We're definitely going to pass 1,000 videos pretty soon. When did Nick DiGiovanni win MasterChef? That's a
big milestone right there.
Question in a way, because I didn't win MasterChef. I got 3rd. I was on season 10, and I got to the finale, but then, I didn't win. Nice that people think that I did. When did Nick DiGiovanni start cooking? I forget the exact age, to be honest with you, but I know it was between 7
I might switch face cams because my shit keeps freezing, bro. This shit's pissing me off, bro.
And 8 years old. I saw my grandmother, I saw my great-grandparents cooking. I loved watching. I loved being in the kitchen. I liked the smells, the sounds, just the warmth near the stove, and just being with family and having fun with some food. I was just running around the kitchen, just grabbing different things off the counter when somebody else was cooking and just trying to eat it. Helping, but probably not actually helping, if you know what I mean.
Y'all ever used to eat the cake batter off your grandma used to give you the cake batter, so she used to eat that shit. I used to get the biggest stomach ache the next day.
Right away, food was what I loved. When did Nick DiGiovanni get famous? That's a crazy question.
Buddy.
What does famous even mean, though? I don't have an answer for that. Thank you. What is Nick DiGiovanni's favorite food? Rotisserie chicken. It's the best. I love rotisserie chicken.
He seems like such a simple dude, bro. He just seems like such a simple dude.
I oftentimes go to the market. I get one. I eat the whole thing by myself. Then I take all the bones and I make a chicken stock, just with maybe some onions, some carrots, some celery, butter, olive oil, and a few different seasonings, and then just throw all the chicken bones in there and just slowly let it go for a while, all covered in water.
Really you
just make this delicious, comforting broth that I'll just take a cup all day and I'll slowly drink it until it's all gone, and then I'll top it off with more water and kind of make it again. It lasts forever. Other nice thing is that if you save the rind of your Parmesan cheese, throw that rind in there, it gives a really nice kind of cheesy umami flavor to your stock or your broth. That's my favorite food because A, it's delicious, it's fall apart tender, and chicken is so good. But B, because I can find this really great second use for it where I can have this really flavor-packed broth that I can drink for so long. What is Nick DiGiovanni signature dish? I would have to say my signature dish would be a fresh handmade pasta with some kind of seafood. It could really be any kind of seafood, but because I grew up in Rhode Island and there was lots of fresh seafood around, and now I live in Boston, I love a good fresh pasta with whatever seafood I can get my hands on. Oh, this is a two-part. What camera does
really like
Nick DiGiovanni use? Okay, we use all
boring, but he's like I don't know. He's not an entertainer. So I want to say
all Sonys, but sometimes
like
I
a
also just
regular
pull out
dude.
my iPhone and
He
I
just
get shots
cooks,
that way now
like,
too. We've
dead
learned
ass.
that people are much
Like,
more
you would think,
comfortable
like-
if there's just an iPhone filming
Oh,
versus a
shit.
bigger camera. And so there are certain places in
No, like for real, cause like you would think you would think he has like a bright like personality, but like he's really just like a normal person, bro.
certain times where it just makes
Like,
sense to
that's
pull out a
crazy, you gotta
phone,
think about
and
it.
it's so much easier that way, and it's so much more comfortable
just
for
really
people
puts
that
all
way.
his crap
There's something about a
into
camera and a lens that just scares a lot of people
he
for
got-
some reason,
like,
whereas they're
he got
just fine with a
personality,
cell
but it's
phone.
like-
What
You know what I mean?
oil
It's not like
does
like
Nick
content creator.
DiGiovanni use? What is
Or
that?
does he just don't want to show it out here? Like, he
Oh,
got a different one, different sense. Yeah, different.
just set off the
yeah.
fire alarm, and I wasn't even cooking. How crazy is that? What oil does Nick DiGiovanni use? I mean, I have a bunch of different types of oil. It just depends on the situation. It actually took me a little while cooking to
How did he blow up? That's what I don't really want to know. Cause like, probably on TikTok.
learn what types of oils to use when. I just feel like you can really separate it into two categories. You have your low smoke point oils, and then you have your oils that have a high smoke point. It's actually really easy to look up. You can just look online, find the smoke point of any oil, and if it's over 450, you can use that for a super high heat steak or chicken or whatever you're doing. If it's got a lower smoke point, that's often not so good for high heat cooking, and maybe a little bit better to finish off a dish, like a nice olive oil on top of a salad. Last one. Thank you.
Last one.
Now, finally, we
Like,
have
he remind me of Captain America. I don't know.
the
why.
house.
Did you get like, that Captain
How
America feeling
to
from
pronounce
seeing
Nick
him?
DiGiovanni. Oh, we've been practicing that one the whole video.
Captain
This is
America.
funny because it's also something that I feel like it even took me a long time in my life to figure out, because everybody kind of pronounces things slightly different.
DiGiovanni.
If you split my
Definitely.
last name into two different ways, it's
DiGiovanni,
DiGiovanni.
fucker.
So that makes it
Bro,
easier to think
bro.
about DiGiovanni if you put it all together.
Bro, look.
Okay. Nick DiGiovanni, anyone can
bro.
cook. Yeah, I sometimes
I
use
got
that
it
little
right this
tagline
time, bro.
that I kind of stole from
I think you
Ratatouille
suck
because it's
at
my favorite
this.
movie ever.
Like, you ever see, like,
But I
the
do believe it.
show-
I feel like it's
sucker?
true. I feel like anyone can cook. You just need to learn some of those basics, and then after that, you can make anything. And the coolest part about it is that there's so many different ingredients, so many different types of food all around the world. So if different people in different places learn those basic rules and then start experimenting, you can come next day if I last one. Nick DiGiovanni Dino Nuggets recipe. The filling. That bread holds some of that.
Nick, you a yapper, gang. I ain't gonna lie. But I understand it. He's not like a content creator. Throw your video.